Dear students, today we are going to learn the kinds of sentences because whenever we read or listen or write something in English, we come across variety of sentences. So, it is necessary to know the types of sentences to learn the language well. Okay. And again, when it comes to direct and indirect speech, we have to identify the type of the sentence before changing it into indirect from direct narration. Okay. So, there are 4 kinds of sentences. They are assertive, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory. So, let's define these types with examples. First, assertive sentence. The assertive sentence state a fact, describe things, or report events. That's why assertive sentences are also called as declarative sentences or statements. Okay, got it? Now, the examples of assertive sentences. 1. Ashok wrote a letter. Mohan didn't write a letter. She was my cousin. Mumbai is the biggest city in Maharashtra. Okay. Now, here, assertive sentence begins with a subject and ends with a full stop. Okay. And again, assertive sentence can be either affirmative or negative. Okay. Then, the second type of sentence is an imperative sentence. Okay. The sentences which express command, request, advice, etc. are called imperative sentences. And now let's see the examples of imperative sentences. Don't waste time. Don't worry. Please see me today. Cut the apple into pieces. Give me a glass of water. So, these are the examples of imperative sentences. Here, you may have noticed that imperative sentence also can be affirmative or negative. And the imperative sentence begins with a verb and ends with a full stop. Okay, got it? Now, the third type of sentence is an interrogative sentence. Yes, and the sentences which inquire about something are called interrogative sentences. And the interrogative sentences have 2 types, 2 subtypes. The one is auxiliary interrogative and the other is main interrogative. Okay, here remember that an auxiliary interrogative sentence begins with a form of to be or an auxiliary verb and ends with a question mark. And the other, main interrogative sentence, begins with WS type question word and ends with a question mark. Okay, got it? Now, let's see the examples of auxiliary interrogative sentences. Am I a clever boy? Are you coming with me? Will you play with me? Do you read newspapers? Have you seen the tiger? So, these are the examples of auxiliary interrogative sentences. And now, let's see the examples of main interrogative sentences. Okay. Who are you? Where do you live? How many brothers do you have? How are you? When did you come here? These are the examples of main interrogative sentences. Okay. Now, the last type of the sentence is an exclamatory sentences. The exclamatory sentences express sudden feelings such as pleasure, anger, joy, sorrow, etc. Let's see the examples of exclamatory sentences now. What a beautiful scene it is. How unselfish you are. What a bad look. How lucky you are. How interesting. Now here, the exclamatory sentence begins with what or how and ends with an exclamation mark. Okay. Now we have learnt all the 4 types of sentences with their examples. Did you get it? Now tell me, how can you identify the type of sentences? Yes, obviously. You can identify the type of the sentence just by looking at its beginning and end, because now you know how each sentence begin and end. Okay. Now let's have a quick look at this table. So from this table you will know how to identify the type of sentence from its beginning and end. Okay. Now I hope you understood this well. So bye. Thank you.